20, 23, 30 strigoi. Huh. For this nest, I think we are going to need bigger flamethrowers. It is not nice to spy on someone who is spying. At least you are not one of them. That means I don't have to kill you. That is what I am. A killer of strigoi. You know strigoi? Upir. Vampire. Vampires. They have many names. There is more written about them than they deserve, but I have read it all. Most important thing in war is to know your enemy. I am Draconist, and we have been at war with strigoi since before I was born. We hunt them, they hunt us. It is a dance we do. No resting. Too little time for planning. But plans are important. I work hard to convince the men of my tribe, don't fight blind. Take time for preparation. They say, Zaha, with her nose always in books, always making plans, silly girl. That is why I go alone. For time to think and to plan. Here, look. See the strigoi in their nest. See what they guard well. We can use it. See where they guard not so well. We can use that too. It is thrifty to prepare today for the wants of tomorrow. Aesop. I have a library card. Stay on your toes.
can't get any sharper. It can't. Be quiet in the head. Forgive our sins. The ravens are coming. Thou shalt not be afraid. Take it. Take Harbarbur. Must wake up. Must wake up. Mercy. Have mercy. This isn't happening.
Howdy.
I saw you 2 hills away come. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting. I wish William Shakespeare makes it sound so easy. My clan, they do not know the cost of magic. Do you? You have the look of one who has been changed and cannot go back. Back to magic not being your way. I know how you feel. It sets us apart. Romany men, they punch and wrestle like they are still bear tamers. They rattle their silver charms and lucky symbols, and they polish their saints' finger bones. But they have no trust for those who make magic. They think naked witches dancing on the mountaintop. So Milos lets me work alone. That suits me fine. I like it better away from the camp. I can cover their behinds with no distractions. The clan has enough work inside that forest of ghosts. With my magic, I make sure no wolves or fangs will surprise them. I have spells that warn, spells that bind, spells that burn, and spells that blind. I'll show you if you want. No naked dances.
Quick access inventory updated.
So long.
Hello there. Oh, I don't like to talk about myself much. I'm not so interesting, in all honesty. I'm old. I live in a tree. Sometimes I turn myself into an owl and hunt mice. I used to be someone. But that was a long, long time ago, and I don't care to remember. It was a different age, and the world has moved on. Now I live in a tree and make tea out of bark. Life's a funny old thing, isn't it? I can barely recall when I first landed on the branches of this tree. It's so long ago. I was chasing someone from my past, from a different age. Someone who hurt my closest and dearest friend, my sister. I hunted her for so long, I almost forgot who I was. So I decided to stay. I decided I could do more good here than elsewhere. And I decided to stop hunting and start living. This has been a good place to live. At least, until now. I don't care much about your politics and intrigue. It matters very little in the scope of things. And there are more important things in life than power and prestige. I hope you'll learn that someday. Your secret world is my regular world. It's always been like that here. No walls between the mystical and magical and that of the mundane. In all honesty, I don't know too much about your normal world anymore. I left it so long ago. And while I'm curious about it, I don't think I could ever go back. But from the look of things, if we continue down this path, that might not be an option anymore. You'd think a lovely old lady like me would have no enemies. Well, when you've been around for as long as I have, you're bound to make some. Most are long dead. Some, unfortunately, are as long-lived as I am. Say hoot! Why is this little wheel pointing to food? I can't ever seem to make things sharp. Those third-age hollow imagers were so much easier to use. The vampire queen sees me as either a threat or an annoyance, I'm not sure which, but she wants to get rid of me. I thought I'd be extra annoying and send her a photograph. Oh well, I can always make a swift getaway. But I'm needed here. I'm protecting more than my tree against Lilith's children. If I flee, it won't be long before they all fall, and that'll cause trouble everywhere. They're making your life easier, though, gathering in one place like that. Just the sort of thing we need for a preemptive strike. And I'll see if I can't dig up some other device to capture your moment of glory. Hello there.
Quick access inventory updated.
Hello there. Do you really think if I had a choice in the matter I'd be holed up in this old oak for hundreds of years? Well, maybe I would at that. But at least I'd have a choice. I could have moved to Paris or Barcelona, gone to the movies, eaten some proper cooking, fed the ducks in the park, and seen how the world's been getting on. I'd have had a choice. But I have no choice. I need to stay. keep an eye out for trouble here. And trouble just found us. I watched what happened on the pewter. When they blew a hole through the world in Tokyo, it stirred up trouble here. I'd been having my hands full since. The Deathless. Lilith always knew how to torture me. And I always knew how to put a stop to her shenanigans. I'm not sure what she's up to these days, but I'm sure it's no good. No good at all. By the time I got here, Lilith already had her little cult of worshippers. She made them immortal. That's her power. But I managed to bind them. For as long as I stay around. But they're straining against their bonds now, Lilith's servants, all of them everywhere. We'll just have to start here, with the Deathless, while there's still time. You don't have to drink that. It's execrable. Thousands of years, and I never learned to cook a good pot of tea.
Hello. I am a good fighter, a strong fighter. But a fighter does not only seek the victory. He is always preparing, always searching for the one who will best him. That is where the truest experience is waiting, where he can breathe it in. Before the Dracolesh took in me and my brothers, we fought their greatest warriors. Yes! It was a long night of cheering and bruises, red faces and raw knuckles. I kept those bruises like trophies. I beat down everyone, but they were slowed by the drink and the dancing. Not a fair fight. Morning came, and then into the afternoon. They promised us a rematch one day, if we would join with the Dracolesh. That's what they promised. But there were always excuses, new monsters to hunt. Next season we fight Mihas. In the quiet season we fight Mihas. I shall be ready for it. Milosh tells us much about Vlad Dracula. A great man, a strong man, an honorable man, a ruler of men. I would very much like to have fought him. Instead, I fight at his side. He is with us at every step. Vlad Dracula gave no compromise, none to his enemies, to monsters. We must never forget what they are. That was his lesson to the Dracolesh. The monsters had their time, of great cities like rats' nests, the stories say. An animal knows when its time is over. Men, too. They still fight for it. It is always a battle. But they see their fate. The strong will survive. The monster has nothing in those eyes. I have looked into them many times, right before my face, seen the dull light go out beneath my knuckles. The monster never accepts fate. Vlad Dracula taught the Dracolesh once to give no quarter, and we never will. It is my choice to be out here, in the wild, and not in the camp. I meditate in the good dirt. I box with shadows in the smell of rain. I leap from branch to branch as I scale the tallest trees. My brothers and I, we made these woods our playground. But still, they are different. The dew clings to the trees, cold like it is the sweat of sickness. The mist leaves a taste in the mouth, a taste of metal. I know that taste well. It's a steel trap in this forest, closing around us, not all at once, but slowly. I do not fear it. To die in the resting place of Vlad Dracula, that is an honor! I will say to his knightly spirit that I followed him through the darkness gladly. And I will tell him of all the creatures I sent before me, down into the center of the world. Milosh is expecting you. Don't let your eyes wander when you speak with Emilia. Milosh will cut them out and serve them to you. Be cautious.
Hello.
Hi there. My father is expecting you. Zaha told us, Mihas too, that you were coming. He should be around here somewhere.
No.
Please?
No.
We'll do anything.
No. You will do anything?
Well, almost anything.
I see. Almost anything.
We just want to help. We're so bored and...
Bored. You're bored. My light. I expected more from you. And as for you, young man, if you are ever going to become the leader you need to be, you must not waver when challenged, or do something simply because you are bored. You need to learn discipline and patience. And the answer is no.
Father!
And if I see either of you skirting your duties today, I will make you wish you had not been born. Ha! At last! The chosen one is here.
Father, please.
I'm just telling a joke. You're not the first to come here seeking glory and riches, and you will not be the last. All of you so eager to be the great hero, to defeat the darkness. Let me tell you about darkness. We Draculesti have been fighting vampires since Vlad Dracula himself founded our order. Half a millennium and change, and many generations of slayers. Now the Kakat is hitting the ventilator again. A great evil is rising, a storm is coming, and so on and so on. Bah, I say, business as usual. Another day at the office, is that not what you say back in the real world? You can keep your oracles and your prophecies. We believe in what we can see and touch and fight. But there is just one thing. The difference is... this time, the prophecies may be accurate. I do not like prophecies. I find them counterproductive. If everyone believes the future is already written, they stop fighting, they stop caring. But the Draculesti, we were founded on prophecy. Some things are foretold, and we were once told about the return of a vampire queen, and of darker things. That is why we are here now. Prophecies are usually worthless, but there are things written in signs and symbols that may be of great value. We should never ignore the lessons of the past. And in this case, the past is still very much with us, around us. I wish I could tell you more. All I know is that it looks and it feels like everything is in place for what was foretold to come to pass. We are few, and our task is simply to do what we know to do, and nothing more. We need help. The Draculesti were founded on prophecy, and that prophecy remains with us, in signs and symbols. I am not one for riddles. But you seem like the right person for the job.
A sword will always defeat magic.
Hello.
Special assignment received. Initializing. Special assignment received. Initializing. Special assignment received. Initializing. Local bounty detected. Initiating.
Watch where you're stepping. There are precious plants here you can't even see with the naked eye. We've got wolf's blood and king's foil, moly and raskovnik. There's even... What do you have? Come on, let's see it. It's got him curious and me doubly so. I didn't take you for a prophecist. You don't look the part. Besides, this is not so much a prophecy as it is... I knew he brought me here for a reason. And not just to read the palms of those gypsies. Sorry, the Draculesti. They're fiercely proud, and this tells their story. It's interesting. And what I find the most interesting is what it doesn't say. All right, I'm not forgetting about you. Quite. I guess that's why we're here also. Always a good reason, never immediately obvious. I'd say this one is pretty clear, however. She who once loved and fell will rise again. The hand that held her heart will prove her bane. Well, clear-ish, as these things go. There's plenty of references to the three. The owl, the eagle, and the dragon. The three warriors stood bravely together in war. By oath, they were bound to the 60 and 4. The owl I reckon you're familiar with. I know nothing about the eagle, but the third. The dragon, Vlad Dracula himself, is past due to be brought back from the Apasambetai, from beyond death. Ought to be interesting seeing what history is made of him. In my trade, you quickly learn to distrust historians. What I do know is that he famously fought his lover-turned-vampire Mara, but he was unable or unwilling to destroy her completely. Love. Such a lamentable thing. I've learned to stay far away. We do know that Mara is back and in charge of a vast army of vampires, though her true purpose lies somewhere in the mountains beyond our understanding. And he who held her heart, Dracula, is the only one who can banish her again. Apa Vie and Apa Moarta, the water of life and the water of death, two halves of a circle to be mixed with Apa Sambete. I can only assume they'll trigger a chemical reaction of sorts to bring back his life force from the world ocean where it's been floating for all these years. Like a seed. It's almost like working with my flowers, making something grow and bloom from almost nothing. Apa Vie, the light of the morning, Apa Moarta, the final forewarning, joined at his tomb to bring the dragon to life, so that he may put an end to his bitch of a wife. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Special assignment received. Initializing.
You're not wrong. It is clear enough now that this prophecy concerns us. Kokovea the owl and the dragon. Dracula. But the eagle... There is nothing in our history about an eagle.
It's a Roman eagle. Father...
I thought I told you to stay away from him, Emilia.
He's a good man.
He's a man.
He's old. He's... really old.
Ha! That did not stop your mother.
I'm going to stop listening to you now. There is a man who lives in the mountains nearby, Octavian. This eagle is all over his house. It's carved into door frames, hung on walls. He carries a medallion. It's everywhere. The Roman eagle.
Not this nonsense again.
Octavian has spoken about arriving here with Roman legionnaires almost 2,000 years ago.
Bah! He is lying!
And you know this because? It's not like he'd be the first immortal I ever met. Or ever will meet.
Fine, fine. There is an infinite supply of immortals, but Octavian is not one of them. He's just a sad old man who likes the company of...
Of what? Of what, Papa? Come on, say it.
Forget it.
Say it.
I'm a beautiful girl. Young woman.
That's all, is it? That's the only reason him and I are friends? Not because I'm intelligent or courteous or friendly or interesting, but because I'm young and pretty.
No, this is not at all what I meant. Sweet daughter of mine.
Don't even. And don't talk to me ever again!
Oh, Gaia cursed me with daughters and no sons. Oh, at least the rest of them are married off and have escaped this life. I hate to admit it, but she is often right. She's smart. Smarter than me. And if there was any justice, she would take on my mantle when I pass. But the law is the law, and only a male heir can wear this crown. We don't actually have a crown. It's a metaphorical one. I would not waste my time with this Octavian character. Even my daughter, bless her heart, makes mistakes, and he is one of them. He's a bitter and lonely old man who spins tales to win the favors of a young woman. He cannot possibly be your eagle. You will have to keep looking, I'm afraid. There is nothing more I can tell you. And now to do a father's duty and apologize for being an ass. Emilia! Emilia! Your father has been a royal fool!
Local bounty detected. Initiating.
Come for the eagle, have you? He left a long time ago. Go on, off with you. Find someone else to pester and let me sleep. Why won't you let an old man simply rest in peace? The irony of immortality. I've been 70 years old for near on 2 millennia, with every ache and pain that comes with it. Lilith knew exactly how to make me suffer. And then there's bloody Dracula and his bloody Draculesti. She cursed me with immortality, he with responsibility. I've been waiting since he passed. The fate of this world, he said, in my hands. Well, fuck that. Fuck the world. Fuck Dracula and Mara and Lilith. Fuck everyone trying to turn the earth into their own twisted paradise. I know Emilia means well, the sweet girl, but she's as cursed with the innocence of youth as I am with the bitter taste of old age. I've had enough of it, and I only want to be left be. There's nothing worth saving in this world, and perhaps the end of it will also see an end to my curse. Perhaps the death of everything will allow me to finally... What we do in life echoes in eternity. But what if your life is eternal? What becomes of the echoes? I'll tell you. They thunder and roar. They become deafening reminders of your failures. They remind you that you once stood with the blood of murdered friends on your hands, and that it was all for naught. And when you've listened long enough, you realize there's no absolution, no redemption, no point to any of it. So don't tell me how we can change the world and how I am needed. This world has nothing left to offer me, nothing worth saving. And I couldn't care less if it all burned. Just leave me alone.
Thank you for saving me, Octavian. I thought you believed that nothing was worth saving.
I'm not without a heart, Emilia.
No. I know that you're not heartless. You're good.
I just don't see the point of fighting anymore.
Even if it's just to save one person's life, it's worth the fight. It's worth the pain and the suffering. It's worth the sacrifices. If you can love one person and protect that person, then your life has been worth living.
And if it's all destined to happen again, what then?
Then someone else will stand up and fight. And someday, maybe the circle is broken and we win and move on. Maybe this is that time. Then maybe not. But even if it isn't, we keep fighting. To give others the chance to live and die and love and fight. Let them decide whether or not their existence is pointless. I think you'll find that most of them will choose to live and love and fight. I would. I want that choice. And if you can give us that choice, Even if you've given up all hope. You should.
I've kept it for so long, even after I stopped believing in it. He gave it to me for safekeeping. Vlad said I'd know when to use it, when the time was right again. This is for her, not for you or what you represent, but for her and what she represents. She's right. The circle may be broken yet, but if not this time... You'll need to head up into the mountains. They're digging again, deeper than ever. And whatever is happening down there, it's a ruse. Mara is planning something big, the end of this world. This is our last chance. Of that, I'm sure.
Quick access inventory updated.
Salute!